We've got things to discuss, beginning with a tale of yore. From my time in Buffalo, New York, as you all know, growing up in Buffalo, that is the home of the Buffalo Wing. If you're not aware of that, Buffalo Chicken Wings began in Buffalo many, many years ago. And Tuesday made me think about growing up Tuesdays in Buffalo because Tuesdays were, believe it or not, a slow day in the world of Buffalo Chicken Wings. So, very commonly, as I was growing up, Tuesday was the day that you could go to just about any chicken wing spot and partake in unlimited wingage. You could pay a modest fee and eat as many chicken wings as you would like. Now, despite the best efforts of the chefs in Buffalo, certain times, chicken wings, as you may know if you've eaten many chicken wings in your life, sometimes there's just a weird looking chicken wing. There's just nothing. Raise your hand if you've ever ordered some wings at a chicken wing place. There's a weird looking chicken wing. It happens all the time. Or despite their best efforts to pluck the feathers prior to the wings being cooked, occasionally a feather makes its way. You just look at it, say, boy, that's weird. But if you call the owner of the all you can eat wing place and you said, sir or ma'am, I'd like to make a complaint. There's clearly a feather on my wing and or slash. This wing looks weird. The owner of the all you can eat chicken wing place in Buffalo would say, you gotta be pulling my leg, which was a very common thing that would be said in Buffalo. Because you got two choices. Pull the feather off or skip the wing. Why am I telling you this? Because you all partake at an all you can call lead establishment, in case you're not aware of that. And sometimes you'll get a weird call. It's just the nature of it. There's thousands of calls being generated all the time. So sometimes somebody will say something weird. Maybe you're calling your outbound call and the person says, well, I don't remember anybody talking to me. It's a weird wing. Maybe you get a live transfer and somebody says, well, I don't know why they transferred me. Somebody said that I could get a blah, 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 who knows what. It is a feather on your wing. And the question you have to ask yourself is, why are you complaining about feathers and weird wings at an all-you-can-eat wing place and or slash? Why are you complaining about a weird call at an all-you-can-call buffet? If you get a weird call, pluck the feather or skip the wing. You guys follow my story here? If you get a phone call, what did you hear that made you be transferred? Well, they said something about whatever, and they say something weird. Then pluck the feather. The way you pluck the feathers, you would say, "Oh, really? Well, we got a really big company. Maybe they sent you to the wrong department." Because what I specialize in is getting people checks, and then you would use. Well, somebody tell me what would you use? Where am I going with that? If I was going to pluck the feather,
That's great.
script for which one?
Your PC.
I would just bar- I would just borrow what's this all about and pluck the feather. Really? They said something about free this, free that, whatever. Okay, well, we got a really big company. So maybe you got sent to the wrong department because my department specializes in getting people money and getting them checks. Let me tell you what this is all about. And off you go. Some of us, we obsess all day long about a weird wing. Make sense? So please, pluck the feather or skip the wing. It's just that simple. There's no need to get upset about it, cry about it, complain about it. There's no mass conspiracy. Nobody's intentionally giving you the weird wing. All the other wings are good. Just that one weird one, or even two weird ones, even five weird ones, even 10 weird ones. It doesn't matter. It's all you can call calls. Second public service announcement before I sing you for your host. Let's take a minute and go into a fantasy world. We're going to use our imagination, like SpongeBob says. Think for a minute, how would your life be different if SLS was a job? Now, I'm not saying that we're moving to this model. I ain't saying that. But what if SLS was a job? How would your life be different? Who can think of one way your life would be different if SLS was not a 1099 opportunity? It was a W 2 job. Who can think of one way that it would change your day to day existence?
They're
You have to
different.
punch a clock.
You punch a clock. That'll make a difference. So
I'd make less money.
you
I feel like
would
I'd be
A
capped.
lot less money.
you would make less money. You would be capped. There'd be some positives and negatives, some blessings and curses. One of them would be somebody said punch your clock. Or another way to say that is you couldn't just start when you want to and stop when you want to. So we celebrate talk time now because it's voluntary. So it's like, hey, somebody really had the mental discipline and work ethic to get really long talk time. But if SLS was a job, we really wouldn't celebrate talk time as much. Why?
Because it would be required.
Because it would be required.
Mandatory.
Everybody would have to do it. Be like, yeah, big whoop. You gotta. Of course, we all got our talk time. If we didn't get our talk time, we would have been fired. How else would your life be different if SLS was a job, not an opportunity? So somebody said less money, true. Somebody said, well, I mean, you have to punch a clock. How else?
It would be a guaranteed pay.
Guaranteed pay. A lot of people would like that psychologically, right? It's like, hey, well, whether this person answers or they don't, whether it's a weird wing or not, I'm still getting my $1,000 this week. Many people would like that idea, the concept of guaranteed income. Wendy, how would it be different? SLS is a job. You wake up tomorrow, SLS is a job. How's it different?
Well, in my mind, the one big thing that was attractive to me to come here is that at a lot of jobs in our industry, when you leave all your residuals. And here, at least once we're 3 years invested, we get to continue to earn from our hard work. That is not true in a W-2, most W-2 insurance jobs.
Very, very true. So you leave a W-2 job, you leave your residuals behind. That's part of why they can afford to pay the guaranteed income to everybody. But how else would it be different?
I'd
No
have less.
flexibility.
Mhm.
No
Say again now?
flexibility.
You definitely have less flex. You would have a shift. That is for
Yes.
sure. You'd have a shift that you have to show up to. You'd have to ask for breaks. It wouldn't be a terrible place. I mean, we're pretty fair. So we would pay a fair salary. What if you were on salary with SLS, you just weren't making any sales? How long do you think you could keep your job if you showed up like you're supposed to, you punched the clock like you're supposed to, you took your two 15-minute breaks, you took your 30-minute lunch, you were really nice. The only problem is you didn't make any sales. How long do you think you could keep your salary job if you made no sales?
Very short.
Very,
A month
very,
or two.
a month or two at most.
Most, yeah.
I'm sharing this with you because some of you are new to sales and you don't quite know how this thing goes. So let me share it with you. Even if you are on salary with a sales job, fundamentally you're on commission. Because if your job is to sell and you're paid a flat salary to sell, but you don't make sales, there's no salesperson in the history of sales that you say, so what do you do? Well, I'm a salesperson at blah, blah, blah company. And somebody goes, wow, that's a pretty big company. They're Fortune 500 company. Yeah, they sure are. So what's your job? Well, my job is this. What's your shift? Well, my shift is that. What's your quota? Well, my quota is that. Well, how much did you sell last month? Oh, nothing. Really? Not a single sale? No, I tried real hard, but the leads are weird. I gotta tell you that. So you check back in with that same person a month later. Are you still at so and so? Yep. Still in sales? Yep. Well, was this month better than last month? Nope. Wouldn't you know it? No sales again. Because I mean, it's my upline is just whew, unbelievable. You wouldn't believe that lady. You wouldn't believe that guy. That is a story that will never be told in the history of the United States because it doesn't work that way. They will tell you that you're on salary to make you feel better, but trust me, if you keep going day after day, week after week, God forbid, month after month without sales, somebody's going to notice and you're going to be pulled in somebody's office. And they're going to be like, this ain't for you. I share that with you for this reason. If you are going to be in sales, the best type of sales to be in is the sales that we are in because you get all the benefits. You get all the benefits of a job, but all the benefits of being independent. Because here's why. The things that we have here at SLS, it has the same structure of a job, same structure of a job, but it's got all the flexibility of being self-employed. If you take advantage of the structure, sometimes you will hear us say, work your business like a job. It's not a job. But if you work your business like a job, you'll get paid like a boss. This is a fundamental, very simple thing that many of you are missing. So many of you are doing it right. And you're doing it exactly how you're supposed to do it. You come in, you start early, you finish late, you follow the system, you don't obsess over weird wings. You write 3, 4, 5,000 annualized premium a day. You collect a check with a comma in it. You're on track for the convention. You're on track for the ultimate challenge. You're on to just ride off into the sunset. So many are doing it right. And for those of you that are doing it right, a round of applause, commendation if you're doing it right. Some of you are lost in your own mind. You're lost, and I'm here to rescue you from your brain. Because Monica said something which is very true. A lot of times what people like about jobs is the idea of guaranteed income. But the only thing, a job is just a commission opportunity that has been studied. And so metrics are presented that are called your job. Does anybody know what I mean by that? Every job is just a 1099 opportunity that the owner studied. Anybody know what I mean by that? Let me explain. When you have a job, every job has what's called performance metrics. Who knows what a performance metric is on a regular job? It could be any job. You could be flipping fries at McDonald's. Every job has what's a performance metric? Anybody know?
A goal?
It's
Something you meet.
Like a KPI?
Yeah, you
like
have
a
to
K- so
meet
so
a
let me
certain
give
amount.
so let me give you an example. Many times a franchise is or has been owner operated. Owner operated. So the owner, if they're opening up a franchise, they go to a school and they have a book. And the school and the book tells them things like, hey, here's how many French fries you can realistically make in an hour. Here's how many burgers you can realistically make as long as you make them the right way. Here's how many customers you can service. So if your area has this many customers, you need this many people on the cashier. When the cashier is there, here's how much they should be working. Here's when you need to give them a break before their fingers start to hurt. So the owner knows all of this stuff and then comes back and says, okay, I know how much to pay for this job because I know all the numbers. Okay. So right now, if SLS turned into a job, if it did, and we said, okay, now we're not going to ask you to do 6 hours of talk time. Now it's required. Now it's required because we know when the person does 6 hours of talk time, here's how many calls they should make. When they talk to this many people, here's how many sales they should make. So because at SLS, we know all the numbers, we can very easily turn this into a job. Because like if a person hits these requirements, they're going to make these many sales. And so we're going to take the profit out and we're going to give it to the salesperson and we're going to call that a salary. And then if they don't hit these performance metrics, we're just going to fire them. So what I'm telling you is, if you like the idea of a guaranteed income, you already have one. You already have it. The only choice you have to make is, if you're going to have a guaranteed income, do you want the highest guarantee possible or the lowest guarantee possible? Is everybody following my logic here? If you want a guaranteed income, you already have one. Everything that you would have to do, if you came to me right now and said, Henry, I'm willing to do everything you tell me to do. It's just, I got to have a guaranteed income. Okay. I mean, anybody can come to me and say, I tell you what, I guarantee you $500 a week, but you have to do exactly what I say. If you do exactly what I say, you get the $500. If you don't, you're fired. Does that make sense? Anybody can go to Roy and request and guaranteed income. If it makes you feel better, you're just going to be underpaid for the same job. You can bump it up. You can be like, well, I wouldn't work for 500. I'd only take that deal for 1,000. Okay. Here's exactly what you need to do. All right. If you do it, you get $1,000 a week, guaranteed. But if you don't, you're fired. If it made you feel better psychologically, you could do that. It's just somebody else could be doing the exact same thing you're doing. They're just going to get paid way more. So the idea is, why be underpaid for the same job? Why be underpaid to do the same thing? Work your business like a job and get paid like a boss. So if you're going to work your business, I know it's not a job, but if you're going to work your business like a job today so that you can get paid like a boss, raise your hand and I'll call the hands and tell me one thing you need to do today if you're going to work your business like a job so that you can get paid like a boss. All right, virtual hands up, and then give me one thing that you need to do differently. Everybody take notes, because if you start working your business like a job, you won't have 0 days. If you start working your business like a job, you'll never have a bad check. If you start working your business like a job, you'll start making $200,000 or $300,000 a year. You don't believe me? Listen in. Let's get some clues. So I see a hand raised by Wendy Epstein. Wendy Epstein, if somebody wants to work the business like a job, tell me one thing they need to start doing.
Get on the phone,
How
901
about that?
Club.
How about that? Consistently get on the phone. Stop making your SBCs herd you like a cat. Where are you at? Come back to the phone. I thought you were going to be here. No, no, no. We don't do that. If we're working our business like a job, we get off this phone, we start our shift, if you will, get on the phones. You don't get off till you have your 6 hours of talk time. Good. BJ McClendon, working your business like a job to get paid like a boss. BJ, one thing.
Good morning. One thing I'm going to do is diligently watch these videos in SLSU. Like, these people going to put me out their training class, and I don't.
That is exactly right, BJ. When you have jobs, there's classes you have to go to, HR videos, stuff you have to watch,
That's
training
right.
manuals you have to memorize. And if you don't, you get fired.
That's
So you
right.
need to watch these videos like you're going to get fired. And you need to watch these videos like you need to know it, because you actually do. When you're fixing airplanes at Delta and they give you a video saying, here's how you check the plane. Do you think you can watch that casually while you're eating popcorn, halfway paying
Absolutely.
attention? No. You have to find out, look, this is how you de-ice a plane. There's a process. There's a procedure. You better know how to do it. You're going to be out of here. All right.
Absolutely.
We've got Andre Metoyer. If you're going to work your business like a job, what are you going to do?
Trim the fat and eliminate distractions.
Trim the fat, eliminate distractions. If you had a job, your boss is standing over your shoulder, you can't be wasting time, because your boss is going to be like, what are you doing? We don't pay you to waste time. We pay you to work. Deb.
You laser focused and consistent. Laser focused and consistent.
Laser focused and consistent. If you were on a job and they were measuring your keystrokes and measuring how long your eyes were looking at the keyboard and measuring how long you were in your seat, which is real things that happen on real jobs, we wouldn't be playing around and getting distracted. Social media, we wouldn't be doing that. Work your business like a job. Stephanie Moore.
Exactly what you just said. Stop getting distracted.
Stop getting distracted. You only get distracted because you can. See, when you work your business like it's your own business, I do it once. If I get distracted, if I get discouraged, no, you don't answer to yourself. You answer to your other self, right? You don't answer to that nice self that lets you off and lets you do whatever you want to do. When you are your own boss, you have to boss yourself around, because we're not going to do it. So you can't just, there's no such thing. Discourage, distraction. These are fake words. Max Miller, work your business like a job. How?
Study and follow the PEC diligently.
And they put that keyword on there, Max Miller, at the end, diligently. I like that. When you are working a job, there's quality control people. They're listening to you. You get, quote unquote, off the script. You get pulled into somebody's office. Hey, what are you doing? That's not the way we do it here at Mickey D's or Burger King or wherever. That's not the way we do it here at SLS. There's a PEC. This is the model. You're supposed to follow it. Two demerits. You got to get your hand slapped. Something's going to happen. When you work your business like a job, you follow the standards of that job. Will McPhelson, if you're going to work your business like a job to get paid like a boss, what are you going to do?
You're going to take only allocated breaks and you're going to follow PEC.
I know that's right. Back in job world, they catch you walking around looking up at the sky at 2:15, like, hey, what are you doing? You already took your 2 breaks today. Oh, yeah, I just decided to take another one. There's no such thing as another one. You get 2 breaks and lunch. Get back here before I write you up. You can't just take a break whenever you want to. Work your business like a job to get paid like a boss. Jacqueline Gaines. You're gonna work your business like a boss, work it like a job to get paid like a boss. What are you gonna do?
I would aim to exceed the required limits.
Exceed the requirements. When you're on the job, you're trying to get a raise, right? You're like, well, hey, the basic requirements are here, but I want to get a raise, so I'm gonna go here. And then I'm going to go to my boss. I'm going to say, look at how I have exceeded all of the requirements. I want more money. Here, it's the same thing. When you exceed the requirements, you get a raise. You just give it to yourself because you're going to get a higher commission and you're going to get higher commission points and you're going to win stuff. Sheila, work your business like a job.
Well,
what are you going to do?
I was going to say what Max said about following the directions of the PEC and using the resources, but in addition to that, if necessary, work overtime if you need to do that.
When you were on the job, you're like, hey, boss, I didn't make enough money. I need to make more money. Is there any overtime available? Let me see what I can do. And everybody was fighting and clamoring for overtime. We would be upset if somebody else got to work more than us. Hey, I think you like Billy more than me because you gave Billy overtime. Here we go over to SLS and we're like running from the work. We got overtime here too. You can work till midnight if you want to. Work your business like a job to get paid like a boss. It's a really simple concept. Many of you are doing it exactly right. We look at your talk time, we look at your following the PEC, and you're going to make a bunch of money, and you are making a bunch of money. But the thing of it is, everybody should be making a bunch of money because everybody should be getting the talk time every day. Everybody should be meeting standards. Everybody should be following the PEC. So the takeaway, as you go back to your team huddles right now, 2 takeaways from today's meetings. Number 1, quit complaining about weird wings. Pluck the feather or skip the wing. Second public service announcement, work your business like a job to get paid like a boss. Stop the inconsistency. Stop not following the PEC. Stop taking too many breaks. Stop not being focused. Stop approaching this business like it's magical. This business is not magic, it's math. Oh, I'm tired of up and down income. Okay, stop the up and down effort. Up and down income comes from up and down work ethic. If you work your business consistently, just the same way that hey, I got $1,000 a week or $2,000 a week, I can count on that on the job. If you do all the stuff that job tells you to do, they owe you a paycheck. If you do everything this business that we tell you to do, the math will pay you. The math will pay you. This is a business of probability. You cannot have a bad week if you follow the system. The problem is if you have a bad day and you get discouraged and then you shut down during that day or you shut down the next day or you say, well, I'm not sure if I'm going to make money by the end of the week, so let me go start working my side hustle. Self-sabotage. That's the only way you can lose. Self-sabotage. But if you work the math of this business starting today, you cannot fail. If you're looking for a guaranteed income, you already have it. But the guaranteed income is based on your guaranteed work ethic. If you're not guaranteed to work, you're not guaranteed to get paid. Make sense? We're going to wrap this call up with a reminder. We make excuses and results count. I say the more we live, the more you sell. You've got huddles to go to. Your huddle masters have things to share. We're going to get out of here running and screaming to our breakout rooms to be encouraged and educated by the SBCs and senior coaches in the world.